Hello and welcome to my channel. I would like to show you today how easy it is to make meat stock or broth. It always surprises me that people buy this in shops because the main ingredient when you buy it is water, and it's going to be tap water, and there's going to be a lot of salt in there, whereas what you can do is actually use the ingredients you already have at home and the waste product that you would normally throw away, which is the bones when you've eaten, say, a roast or you've had a joint of meat. You don't need to throw those bones away. You can simply stick them in a bag like this one, pop them in the freezer when you finish. This is some lamb bones from, I don't know, a couple of weeks ago. And I stick them all into a bag in the freezer. And when I've got enough, I put them all into the pot. And literally, that's just in there, it's just going to be bones. I'm going to stick an onion in there. You don't even have to be too fussy about how you're going to cut it up because you're not going to be eating the onion, you're just making stock. And I learned how to do this from my mum when I was a kid. I also relearned how to do it when I did cookery in school, but unfortunately kids don't learn how to cook in schools anymore. So many of these easy skills which give you nourishing food from stuff which we now throw away, these skills have been lost. So I've just popped a white onion in there. Here's a red one. It doesn't matter, it's just happened to be that's what I had in the cupboard. Like I said, you don't need to be too fussy about how you're going to chop that up because it's going to cook for a really long time. Now, some people don't like the smell of bones cooking and would use that as an excuse to never ever go near making any meat stock or bone broth. But you can buy for about 15 quid, I think this one was 15 euros, a little hot plate, electric hot plate like this one. And you can stick it outside. You don't even have to have it in the house. I'm going to throw some garlic cloves into that as well. Don't even need to bother peeling them. We're only doing it for flavour. I'm going to chuck in some carrot. Again, you can use vegetable peelings. I often, if I making vegetables and I've got peelings from things like, or the green bits from leeks that I'm not going to use in another dish, I put them all in a bag in the freezer, just something like that. And then I just pull them out when I'm ready to make another pot of stock. What I wanted to show you is this is a lamb stock broth I made a couple of days ago. So all the fat, when it gets cold, rises to the top. So you can use that in your cooking, or you can just put it back in, reheat it and stir the whole lot through and use the whole thing. But can you see how jelly-like that's become? See how all that delicious goodness, that is full of collagen. That's full of vitamins and minerals from the vegetables I added and minerals from the meat and the bones. And the other thing you can do is, it doesn't need, there's also in here, I didn't mention it already, there's most of a roast chicken, which I took off all the good meat, took off all the stuff I wanted. The rest of it goes in the pot. I'm going to put a couple of good spoonfuls of sea salt in there. And some peppercorns. You can use whole peppercorns. Again, there's no hard and fast rules. Look, there's just a small handful there. I love the taste of pepper. Put into it whatever you like the taste of. So here's my spice rack. I'm going to just chuck some rosemary in there. You could put a vegetable bouillon bag in there. You know, one of the ones that you buy in the supermarket in the little bags. Potpourri, that's the word I was looking for. There's some thyme. You can put whatever you want into it. And then you're going to take some water. This one's already half full of water, but you're going to take not tap water, but filtered water or filtered tap water. And again, if you buy this, you're buying it with tap water. Nobody's filtered that water out for you because commercially they don't bother about stuff like that. Then you're just getting whatever comes out the tap in wherever your stock or your meat stock was made, in whichever factory. So you can make it at home and be much more discerning about the ingredients that go in there, because the main ingredient is, like I said, is water. But what the boiling process is going to do is going to draw out all the goodness from those bones. So we've got some lamb bones and a chicken carcass in there. That's the neck of the chicken that got left on when I bought it. I've added some spices, I've added some salt, some onion, garlic. Like I said, it's up to you, whatever you fancy to put in there. and we're going to boil that up, and I'm going to come back later and show you. So this pot is actually a pressure cooker. Oh, here's my lid. You don't have to have a pressure cooker, but it does make the time a lot shorter, and it really is great because it keeps all the steam contained. So you put the lid on a pressure cooker. You can just use a regular pot. You just have to do it for a lot longer. So in a normal pot, not cooking under pressure, you're going to bring that to the boil and put the lid on, and then when it starts to boil, you're going to turn it down to the lowest that you can just see it still bubbling. If you're using a pressure cooker like I am, and this pot cost me about £50, but you know, you only need to buy one in your lifetime. That's going to come up to the boil in a minute. It'll start hissing, then I'll turn it down, and then I can just cook that for 2 or 3 hours. And like I said, if you don't like the smell of the steam coming out of that, some people hate the smell of beef bones cooking particularly. They can be quite strong. You can just put the whole thing outside your back door, and you don't even have to have the smell or the steam in your house at all, especially if you're going to cook it for 24 hours. Or you can put it into a slow cooker. That's another method. You just want to boil that slowly, and at the end we are going to have a pot of fantastic meat stock, which we're going to strain off and use to make whatever else you want to make with it. You can use it for the basis of soups and stews and sauces, and you can drink it as it is. It's strained, it's just strained liquid. It's full of collagen, full of minerals, super good for you. You don't need to take collagen supplements, just use your old bones and make your own meat stocks. Simple. I'm going to show you later and come back at the end of the video and show you how that's going to turn out once I've strained it off. Thanks for watching. Tune in for the end a little bit later. So you've cooked your stock, and if it's in a regular saucepan, then you can cook it for up to 24 hours. If you really want to extract every last morsel of goodness out of those bones, you don't have to do it for 24 hours, but that would be the ideal scenario, because you will continue to get all the marrow and minerals out of the bones and really get the flavour into the stock. In a pressure cooker, which does things very quickly, you need only to cook it for 3 hours tops, which is what I did with this one. You can also, I forgot to say earlier, you can add some vinegar to your stock at the beginning, which will help to extract more of the goodness from the bones. And then you're left with a pot which looks like that, and you simply pour that into a colander. Should we have an apron at this point? Straining out all the lumps and leaving you just with your delicious, health-giving, clear stock, which when I put that in the fridge, the fat will rise to the top and the rest of it will turn to jelly, like the one I showed you at the beginning of the video. So in a pressure cooker, it's only going to take 2 or 3 hours. On a pot on the stove, you can cook it for up to 24. Same in a slow cooker. Just keep an eye on it, make sure it never boils dry. Obviously, you can top up as you're cooking. You want to always make sure those bones are submerged. And there you have it. And that is how easy it is to make meat stock, bone broth, whatever you like to call it. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more excellent educational food-based videos. Thanks for watching.